There is a lot of history here in St. Louis, a lot of good, but unfortunately, some that's bad. Malik Wilson met with a St. Louis native and film director who recently produced a documentary exploring a harsh reality, and he's joining us live to explain.
That's right, Dana. Like you said, there's a ton of history here in St. Louis that, might be new to me, but it's kind of, old to other people here. And meeting this film director here, he's taught me so much about history that I might not have known about. And check this, story out to learn more. It's truly amazing.
If you're a movie watcher, you may have noticed this face here. St. Louis native Damian D. Smith.
I went to New York, and New York is where I did most of my theater. So I did a lot of theater in New York, off Broadway, nowhere near Broadway, So I did it all. So I paid my dues in that aspect.
He's played in major movies and shows like The Purge, Gin, and FX's Snowfall.
I play top notch. I play top notch on Snowfall.
Smith's love and passion has landed him in front of the camera for nearly 2 decades. But just a few years ago, he tapped into another love he had, only this time behind the camera.
So I wanted to tell stories that relate to me and, try to get out there in that aspect.
In 2015, he directed his first short film with many other successful shows and films to follow. But a recent project he's been working on now is called Target St. Louis Volume 1.
So my documentary, Target St. Louis Volume 1, is about post-World War II during the Cold War era. The military conducted secret chemical testing on the most vulnerable population of St. Louis.
And the story is told through the eyes of survivors.
So back in the day, when they were spraying for, when you see trucks, they would come spraying for pesticides or anything like that. In those cases, they were spraying zinc, cadmium sulfide, and a couple other elements that was not supposed to be there, which you would discover, and we go into a lot more in the documentary Target St. Louis Volume 1, so I can't wait till people watch it.
Smith says his purpose behind the documentary is to allow people to understand what happened to the people affected and why it even happened.
I started with this around 4 or 5 years ago. And by filming this documentary, I learned a whole lot.
The documentary has already been aired across the country at several film festivals and has even been earning top awards. Now, the hope is that it is received in a way that can help reshape the future.
You will learn in the documentary Target St. Louis Volume 1 what happened with the case, what happens to these people, what happened, and then you will get a sense of more of what I'm speaking about.
For sure. All right, so all the information that you need is right there on your screen. You can visit that website as well as check out Damian there on his Instagram, and that is Damian D. Smith. Dana, this is crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I love how he's taking his talent and just kind of, bringing old history to the forefront and just helping us, stay with the times.
Right, it is a big part of our history here in St. Louis, and I saw Jennifer Blome and my husband in that footage because we've covered that extensively here on 5 on Your Side. Thank you so much, Malik.